everybody, and welcome to the Scott Show. It's kind of nice to be here back at home and making some noise, making a lot louder, being a lot louder. I just enjoy the fact that I'm back here in the 102550 Scott Show studios making it happen. Alright, so folks, last night I went to TLC, the big pay-per-view that WWE puts on, tables, ladders, and chairs. So I wanted to give you, it is 6:06 in the evening. I wanted to give you guys the heads up on what happened last night before Raw starts tonight. And so we are going to skip through the pre-game show, but we'll go right to the Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks match. That was on the pre-show. However, I'm starting to think that they put a good heater out there to start and give them a good amount of time. So I'm not too incredibly sad about seeing Sasha and Alicia Fox in the pregame show. It was actually a pretty good match. Sasha Banks did end up winning with the bank statement and setting up hopefully what is to be a run with the Women's Championship really soon. One can hope, and let's see what happens tonight on Raw. It is going to be Sasha Banks and Bayley tonight on Raw. And the winner of that match gets to be the team captain for Team Raw when they go into Survivor Series. Now, the entire event started out with Emma coming out. And then Asuka came out right after that. Now, Asuka seemed to be a little bit more... I'm trying to figure out the word I'm looking for. She seemed to be a little bit more punctual. When she came out, it seemed like she had a little bit more pop in her step. Maybe it's because she's on the main roster, but who knows? It just seemed like they're doing a little bit different character with her instead of making her just a badass who comes out, kills people, and is done. So they're giving Asuka some life, which I'm kind of happy for. I'm glad to see that. Emma and Asuka went a lot longer than I thought it was going to. However, with 6 matches on the card, it couldn't not go longer. And, of course, there was another one that was made up. But that's just what happened, and going a little too far. But Asuka and Emma, they were slapping each other the whole time. It was pretty awesome how they did a lot of chain wrestling and stuff like that. Asuka wins the match. With the Asuka lock, she kind of sold it a little too much, if you ask me, because not a lot of people in the audience knew what NXT was. And if they did know what NXT was, they just didn't yell as much as I thought they would when it came to the fact that she was in the Asuka lock. So anyway, Asuka wins and stands tall, as it says here. I am on Lords of Pain just to keep me on track. Like I said, I did go to this live. I did have nosebleed seats, but they were still very nice, and I want to thank the Target Center. I have a few things to say about that afterwards. The Miz and Cesaro and Sheamus were talking about Kurt Angle in tonight's main event, and it was really great because they showed us that on the screen when we were there, so it was really nice to see all the backstage stuff. If you guys ever wondered what happened, Elias came out, and for a song that didn't exactly work for him, Jason Jordan was pretty much just hanging out there and started throwing stuff at Elias. And just kind of ended it there. Brought out a shopping cart. I don't know what his new gimmick is going to be, but it's kind of silly. I heard Brian Kendrick's music play, and I wondered, who the hell is this? And then I remembered, hey, it's Brian Kendrick. And so I was a little taken back from that. But when I heard Gentleman Jack Gallagher, I was excited because I like him. He's trippy. And Rich Swann is actually really good too to come out. Cedric Alexander really doesn't have that much of a fight when he comes out. So it was kind of a dull moment. But when Rich Swann came out, you knew it, which was really cool. So it ends up that Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander win the match. The lumbar check that Kendrick took to finish the match just looked badass. I mean, it looks like a vicious maneuver that I would not want to wish on my worst enemy, just saying. So after that, we get Alexa Bliss and Charlie Caruso in the back. Now, I don't know who this Charlie Caruso person is, but she has no, big fire under her belly that says, hey, I'm going to be this WWE superstar, I'm going to do this and that. I know she's only an interviewer, but Christ's sake, woman, you're an interviewer, act like it. And I'm not too happy about that. But Alexa Bliss does say that she was sad about, being called biscuit butt. And she goes, I like my butt, it's cute. And the entire crowd absolutely popped for that. I laughed so hard because the crowd went insane crazy when she talked about her own butt. It was great. Then you have the Raw Women's title match between Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. It was good. Mickie James is a hell of a worker. I'll definitely say that. She's a hell of a worker. Good hand in the ring. She can go. But Alexa Bliss just kind of does so many great things to her. She's not a wrestler's wrestler, but does she really need to be at this point? She's just a really, really good character. And for that, I give her 1,000% credit. She does deserve to be the champion, and she does retain over Mickie James. Now, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be Alexa Bliss and Natalya at Survivor Series. And I think that'll be a really fun match. Hoping that Alexa wins that match, but I'm not thinking that she will. Only because they're going to want to put over the other champions as well. And got to give SmackDown a win somewhere. So that's just what happened. Kurt Angle is backstage, and Ambrose and Rollins come in and look at him, and they start talking him down, or start talking to him anyway. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, we weren't here for that, we were here for this. And he gets handed a Shield outfit. And the crowd absolutely popped for that too, which was really cool. Just seeing Angle getting ready to wrestle was pretty awesome. So that was cool. Enzo Amore came out to actually quite a big pop. I was pretty happy about Enzo Amore coming out. Kalisto just not as much. I mean, people liked him, and there was a few people doing the lucha thing, but not a lot. Enzo Amore ends up winning that match. I'm not really going to get into that too much. AJ Styles and the Demon Finn Balor. I gotta say, folks, AJ coming out, probably the pop of the night. Unless you count Kurt Angle. I mean, so AJ Styles and Kurt Angle were the pop of the night. The Demon came out, and it was really cool live. It's really awesome when the lights go out and you're wondering what the hell's going on. So doing the whole pay-per-view thing was pretty sweet to me. There were a lot of chants for Too Sweet here. Before the event happened, I saw a whole bunch of guys with Young Bucks shirts on. I told them laughingly, I said, well, I hope you guys don't get kicked out here for these, for having those shirts on. But I do have to admit, the Young Bucks are pretty dumb. I would not pay to go see any of their events. Well, it just is what it is. People like different things, but yeah, I wouldn't pay for that. So, AJ Styles and Finn Balor go on what seems like forever, but they can do it forever because they are so damn good at it. I forgot the time because I was watching this match so intently. It was amazing. Finn Balor ends up winning the match. However, AJ Styles and Finn Balor, you have not seen the end of those two fighting. It was glorious. I'm going to steal that from SmackDown. How about that, Bobby Roode? Alright, so Elias comes out again. Jason Jordan comes out again, throws stuff at him. And then they made the match. And it was Jason Jordan and Elias. Jason Jordan won. I really don't care. It was really bad. The crowd went absolutely quiet as hell when he got the pin. Jason Jordan got the pin in the win. I don't think anybody cares, and so they got to do something else with him. make people care. Then they had the 3-on-5 tables, ladders, and chairs match. I really wondered how they were going to start this match out. Because it's 5-on-3. I mean, it's not 4-on-4, it's 5-on-3. It's a handicap match with there are two guys up. But they did figure out a smart way of doing it. They started bringing in chairs. They hit everybody with the chairs. That was most of the first 5 minutes of the match. Was chairs, even though it was awesome. And seeing Kurt Angle in the ring come out, I was actually kind of pissed because we didn't get the Kurt Angle entrance, which I would have really liked. But the Shield thing was kind of cool. Not having Roman there was a little crappy. But it was what it was. And Braun Strowman threw Kurt Angle through a table, and people thought he was injured and he was gone for a little bit. Then all of a sudden you hear Angle come out, and it was such a trip because Angle flipped over Cesaro. He gave him an Angle slam that sent Cesaro through the table that was set up over there, and for the last maybe 5-10 minutes his leg was still hanging on the top. He sold it like an absolute champ. In other great things, they had Kane and Braun on the announce table, and Ambrose and Rollins jumped on them. One of the big parts of the match was when Braun Strowman turned, and there happened to be a little fight with Kane and Braun Strowman. Then the Bar and the Miz got involved, so the team imploded, and at the end of it, he was thrown into a garbage truck. Not really cool. A lot of the people were chanting, that was murder, which was kind of funny, but at the same time, kind of dull. And Dean Ambrose and Rollins and Angle started hitting the Miz, and at the end of it, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Kurt Angle win the match and go on as the new Shield, or whatever you want to call them. Now, Roman Reigns is gone for still a week, probably, or longer due to the mumps. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Kurt Angle, or when Roman Reigns comes back, and then he can talk to Angle or whatever. They might blow it off and just be like, "Hey, it was a one-shot deal," or they might run for it. So we'll see what happens there, folks. I got lots more podcasts to do. I'm so glad I can be loud again because that hotel was so quiet and hardly anybody was ever like talking or moving, and I couldn't feel like I could do anything. Now, little live notes, just for a heads up. Live notes, like I said, lots of people with Young Bucks shirts on, with Bullet Club shirts on. I saw a lot of Kenny Omega shirts. I really wanted to go up to him and ask him if they knew who Kenny Omega was. Some people, I don't think that they did. I think they just saw it as a cool shirt and wanted a Bullet Club thing. So they got the Hot Topic and got the cheapest one they could find. Or the only one they can find. I didn't see a lot of Cody Rhodes ones, though, so that was kind of a weird deal. I think I saw more Marty Scurll ones than I did Cody Rhodes, but that's whatever. And in other live notes, the gate did not open until 5:30. It was a long, long line, and there were some problems with some people in the front, and security took care of it. And praise the Lord for security being as awesome as they were, because they got everything taken care of. So, big shout out to security for making sure that we are all good. Other than that, it was great, and it was fun to be in Minneapolis, and that was TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Check out Monday Night Raw tonight if you guys want to listen to the Scott Show podcast on commercials or whatever. You can do that, and if you don't like wrestling, well, you listen to almost 15 minutes of me talk about it. But if you don't like wrestling or just hearing the end of this, check out all of our other podcasts at www.speaker.com/The Scott Show. You can also find us at tinyurl.com/102550 and also 102550.net. That is the place to go for all of your podcasting, or all of your, that's the Homeless Project. The Homeless Project, folks. I hate to tell you guys, I am super tired, so I'm going to try to do as many of these podcasts as I can, do as much work as I can around the house, but when I crash tonight, it's going to be a long night. And if I do not have a morning wake-up call at 8 o'clock, I'll give you guys a heads up. So we will see you guys real soon, and thank you for listening. Oh, and Maestro, kick my music.